force that stretches out to the moon. It's the notion that something can happen to anyone. We are all connected, like tides around the world being pushed and pulled by an unseen force that stretches out to the moon. So long ago, gray skies were blue. Tomorrow, when there never was a today. So long ago, when gray skies were blue. I mean, really, what the fuck? I was wondering, have you ever heard of the term, wherever you go, there you are? So long ago, when gray skies were blue, and we are all connected, like tides around the world being pushed and pulled by an unseen force that stretches out to the moon. It's the notion that something can happen to anyone, but you know what I mean. And if there is no tomorrow, and there never was a today, this will plague you over and over. I mean, really, what the fuck?
Yes, sir, Nick. We're going to talk about that, sir. Y'all make sure to smash that like. It's free, and YouTube really, really cares.
I was wondering.
Tiger Nation, you knew how we do it, man. Come on now. What is up, everybody? It is indeed your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this fine Wednesday evening. Thanks for everybody for hitting the thumbs up. Of course, all of the people who support the show monetarily, whether you are a member of the channel, where the little join button is, whether you send money through super chats, or, of course, the PayPal link is in the description of the video. If it weren't for all of you guys that were so friendly every single week, I could not do these shows. Literally could not do these shows. Now, I'm sure there's some people out there, at least some, that would not care if I couldn't do these shows. But there are some that I think would care. So thank all of you for that. Of course, this is a call-in show. If you want to call in, the number to call in is 864-207-4522. Excuse me. 864-207-4522. What is in the news? We're going to talk a little bit about Derion Kendrick. Well, first of all, this isn't official yet, but we'll talk a little bit about Derion Kendrick. I want to say a couple of things about that because, of course, Pigskin Pete was right for the umpteenth time. That's the saying my mom always used to say when I was a kid. The umpteenth. I've told you umpteen times to clean your room. So anyway, I was right for the umpteenth time. I don't even know is that a real number? Umpteenth? Umpteenth? I can't even say it. Also, while I was making this intro video today, I went down an 80s music rabbit hole. And the 80s, has anybody know? Well, I'm sure I'm always the last to notice anything in pop culture because I'm an old fart now. But it appears that 80s, everything has come back. 80s music, 80s style. Like I noticed a couple of, they couldn't have been more than high school kids the other day that are dressed like I did in the 80s when I was like 6. You know, some girls that had the crimped hair, the whole 9 yards. Of course, all these TV shows coming back, like Stranger Things is like nostalgic for the 80s people. But so it got me thinking about 80s music. So I went on to Sirius Satellite Radio today and started listening to the 80s. There's an 80s channel on there, and I couldn't turn it off. So anyway, I did look up the top. I think it was the top 100 1980s songs by, well, first of all, it's all subjective, okay? But whoever this DJ was, I wrote down the top 10, and I want to get some people's thoughts on that. The 80s was a great music decade, for sure, and every genre, too. That's the other thing. Like, in the 90s, it's more known for rock and hip-hop, but the 80s, it was hip-hop, metal, country, rock. I mean, you name it. The 80s just, the 80s killed the music scene in a good way, not in a bad way. So we'll talk a little bit about the 80s music scene as well. Now, on to this Derion Kendrick thing, and of course, then I'll get to the chat before we get to the phone lines. So it appears, well, the reports is that Derion Kendrick, the former defensive back for the Clemson Tigers, is going to transfer to Georgia and maybe be eligible to play Week 1, September 4th against Clemson. Now, first of all, what's funny about this is, first of all, I told you that was most likely where he was going to go. You can go on YouTube right now or after this video. Of course, don't leave here, but after this video, you can go on YouTube or to my channel or just go in the search bar and type in Pigskin Pete Derion Kendrick. Because I made a video as soon as he got kicked off of the team. And I listed on there, I said, I would not be surprised if he ended up at Georgia. I think that would be a destination place for him to go. Well, for a lot of reasons. Because Georgia's really good. That's the main reason. It also is because it's close to Clemson. And Derion Kendrick is from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And I remember back when he signed with Clemson, he mentioned that one of the main reasons he went to Clemson, other than, it being a great program, was he wanted to be close to home. Well, Clemson is closer to Athens than it is to Columbia, South Carolina. So I know that meant a lot to him. But the funny thing about this is that whenever Derion Kendrick got kicked off the team, so allegedly, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear here when I say allegedly, because I don't know. They never really disclosed why he was kicked off the team. Rules violations, right? He was suspended from several games throughout the past couple of years, allegedly for failing drug tests for marijuana, allegedly for grades, allegedly for not going to class, okay? All of these type of things. All the things that I did when I was in college. So I'm not hating on the guy. But seriously, it appears he's going to end up at Georgia. But all the Georgia fans were clowning Derion Kendrick for not going to class and smoking weed and getting kicked off the team. And now it seems as if he's going to end up most likely a Georgia Bulldog. Now, here's the question I have for the Bulldogs, and this is a serious question. I'm not trolling. I don't know, okay? Where would he fall on the depth chart at Georgia? From what I can tell, from what I'm hearing from Georgia fans, is that they're a little bit worried about their secondary in 2021. So would he fit right in there and become a starter day one? Do they have a bunch of guys that are better than him? You have to remember something about Derion Kendrick. Derion Kendrick was a quarterback in high school. Derion Kendrick was moved to wide receiver his freshman year at Clemson. And then his sophomore year at Clemson was moved to defensive back. So he's only played defensive back a couple of seasons, and he's been up and down. He's had some great, games and some not so great games at that position. So I'll be interested to hear from Georgia fans on this subject. Obviously, look, every program is happy to get another guy to make the roster deeper, I mean, any Georgia fan out there that wouldn't be happy to get Derion Kendrick on the football field situation would be foolish. The problem is that the off-the-field situations have not been so stellar for our boy Derion. Okay. Also, the other angle here is if he is able to play in the Week 1 game, I don't know how well he'll play. That's besides the point. But he does know very well the Tony Elliott offense. And I'm sure he can pass along some of that information to the coaching staff at UGA. So we'll see how that all works out. Let's get to the chat, and then of course we'll get to the phone lines, because that's all anybody is really here for. Nobody's here to look at my ugly face or listen to me ramble on for 2 hours. Cheers to the chat. Let's see who's here. Samuel Pate's here. Matt Dummett. Jeremy Shit-Talking Pruitt. Tiger Nation, my brother for life. What's up, brother? Brad Pitt. Go Tigers 504 with his normal greeting, yo. But not spelled Y-O. They spell it differently down there in the bio. Bama Buddy's here. Nick says DK to UGA. Sergeant AR-10. Tiger Nate's here. LW. Traveling Fools. Pizza Woman. SEC Dog. Says top of the evening, Tater fans and everyone go Dogs. D4 is here. What's up, D4? What's up, buddy? How you doing? Tony Collins. There's some jabroni in here named Pigskin Pete. I see in the chat. I don't know what that guy's doing here. Nobody cares about him. SO Mafia. James Thompson. James Thompson says, Dogs got in the trash again. Yeah, taking them Clemson leftovers. Yeah. Of course they are. LSU fan. Colby. Michael Hogg. Dylan Deloney. What's up, buddy? Did I already say Crimson Brave? I think I did. I have the memory of a gnat. You have to guys. If I say one name twice or don't say anybody's name at all, it's because I have the. Well, I was about to say that I have the IQ of Chess Hall, but that's false. I think I came in 4th or 5th in that competition. And by the way, I think I was still drunk from the night before. I'd like to take that test sober and see how I do. Jermaine Garrettson, what's up, buddy? Thank you. 90s music is the best. Well, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get an argument with me on that. You know, Uncle Lou is here. I believe Uncle Lou says tater tier. I believe Uncle Lou was one of the ones clowning Derion Kendrick. Now he's all happy about it. Shocker. Luke Walker. Did I say Colby already? Goose Sports. Barry. I was about to say the whole name, but Barry is here. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on Peete. I didn't fall for it this time. Bears, Cubs, Canes. I can already tell this is going to be a good show. You ever just know? Well, you don't know. I know. You know what I'm saying? I know. And me knowing is all that really matters, to be honest with you. That's really all that matters in my mind. All right. Let's get to the phone calls because they are important. I want to take them in the order that they came in, folks. Okay, so if I don't get to you first, just hold on. Believe me, I appreciate every single person that takes the time to call in. Don't get impatient, please. What's up? You're on with Peete.
Hey, good evening, Pete. This is Edward calling in. How you doing on this awesome Wednesday night?
Well, I'm amazing and fantastic, but I think you already know that I am.
Of course, yes. I was gonna say, Dylan's your favorite Panthers fan. I'll just start out saying that. I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
The first question is, do you have a Facebook page that anyone can reach yet? And
wrong.
How good do you think the ukulele will be good this year?
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct, sir.
So to answer your first question, no, I do not have a Facebook page. And I probably never will again as long as I live. That's the answer to number one question, right? So no. If there's any social media platform other than YouTube that you want to contact me on, you can contact me on Twitter. You can just search for Pigskin Pete. I'm sure I'll pop up. I'm sure there's not any more other Pigskin Pete's out there in the Twitter world, Twitterverse. But my handle is @Peete Pigskin. To answer your second question, do I think the ukulele is going to be good? Yes. Why would I not think that? Is there anything that you've seen, Edward, that would tell you that he's not going to be great? Anything at all? I'm all ears.
No.
Okay. Well, that's great. Any more questions?
No, that's it.
Oh. Okay, sir. Thank you for calling in. Edward, I look forward to seeing you on Monday night on the Lunch Money Show with myself and Uncle Lou. What's up? You're on with Peete.
What's up, Pigskin Pete? This is Tiger Nate.
What's up, Tiger Nate? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and you want to know why?
Why?
I got in.
Oh, no. Hold on now. Hold on. You got into Clemson?
Yes. I got into Clemson, man.
Awesome, man. So when do you start? Do you start this fall?
Oh, pretty much. Well, my intent is to start with one class this summer just to get my foot in the door.
Uh-huh.
But, this fall I'm going to be down on campus, and I'll be studying sports communication.
Awesome, man. I'm really happy for you because I've known that you really tried hard. For those of you who don't know, Tiger Nate here. First of all, you've been a lifelong Clemson fan, haven't you?
110%.
110%. I have never met somebody that went to more Clemson games than this guy. Well, maybe I have, but he goes. I mean, you go to virtually every home game over the past. Well, at least since I've known who you are, and a lot of the away games as well. And then you went to. Do you feel comfortable saying where you went to school before? You went to was it a community college?
You're breaking up a little.
Oh. Can you hear me?
There we go. That's better. Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you go to college before Clemson?
I went to Greenville Technical College.
Greenville Technical College. Okay. So you've been trying to get in there, and you finally got accepted.
Yeah.
So, no, you're happy about that. What do you think about this Derion Kendrick situation?
Well, to be perfectly honest, not sure we're going to lose that much. I mean, I bet you anything Georgia fans are going to hop right on that and say, oh, boy, you're just saying that because he's going over to Georgia. But, I mean, based on how he acted outside class, I don't know. It still doesn't feel like he really lost that much. We have better kids. They'll actually act better and will play better. It's not to gloat, but seriously, we have standards for a reason. That's why he didn't stay on the team.
From a football standpoint, I was not happy to see him leave because we need depth at that position. But as far as the locker room goes, look,
right.
you can't have a guy who doesn't live up to the culture, the standard that's set by the head coach. Because if you let one guy get away with things, then you got to let everybody get away with things. And quite frankly, whenever this whole thing went down, Derion Kendrick, he wasn't mad about getting a cut from the team. He was actually very complimentary and said
right.
He even admitted it was his fault. He said it was my fault. He said Coach Sweeney gave me 10 chances, or he said he gave me 9 lives, and I exhausted all 9 lives. So there was no it wasn't like an ugly split between him and Sweeney and the team. He understood why it happened, and he agreed with it, at least as far as what he said.
Right. Well, I also think that you got to present yourself well, or else the rest of the team's going to suffer from it.
Yeah.
That
was.
I get it. You play on the field. That's your talent, but certainly your mannerisms and your behaviors do cross over.
Sure.
A lot of times, the rest of your team will suffer from whatever you bring to the table.
Well, honestly, it would be easy for me to sit here and say if he goes to Georgia, I hope he doesn't do good. But I'm never going to root against the guy. I hope he gets everything turned around, and I hope he does good wherever he goes, and whether it's Georgia or anywhere else. I mean, I don't have any problem with the kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Listen, when I was in college,
right.
I was 10 times more of a degenerate than this guy was. He's already accomplished more in 3 years in college than I did in one, or whatever, at all. So I'm not a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of Kelly Bryant. A lot of the Clemson fans were kind of jumping on him like, "Hey, we don't really like you," but really, I mean, you gotta respect the guy. He really was served by one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in college football. He went on to Missouri. That's a hard place to play in general. I mean, it's sort of like Arkansas. It's a hard place to play. It's just in a weird spot on the map,
Yeah. Hey, Nate, hold on for 1 second.
He was a good guy.
Yeah, hold on for 1 second. All right, buddy, and everybody else, hold on for just 1 second too, please. Okay. As you were, sir. I apologize.
Everything back together?
Yes, everything's good.
No worries.
Well, I hope.
Stuff happens.
Uh,
But yeah, like I was saying, just it reminds me of Kelly Bryant. That's all.
yeah. Well, that's a pretty good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, here's another thing. This weekend, you probably already saw in the chat we have, it was my birthday, but it's pretty fun today. I got 2 mugs of beer in and to celebrate me getting accepted, so that was fun.
So you're about to get the
Kind of
double.
had,
You're
but-
about to get the double whammy. Did you just say it was your birthday?
Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I was at like the Peddler the other day down here. There's like it's a really good restaurant, and this random guy, after he heard my family saying happy birthday to me, he was like, "Hold up, man, I'll order you a Fireball."
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, good sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, this random guy at the place like just said, "Hang on, man, I'll order you a Fireball." I was like, "Oh boy, this sounds good."
Uh-oh. What
It
is,
is,
was it your 21st birthday?
If you already know what it is, it's yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Fireball.
It was certainly special. Yeah.
Yeah, cinnamon whiskey is what it is. Not a big
Oh,
fan.
yeah. Well, I mean, even before that, my dad earlier in the day just gave me like a straight up, like he didn't even tell me what it was. He's like, "Here, drink this." It was like a little shot of like straight up bourbon whiskey, nothing else. It's like, wow, alrighty then.
He was trying to put some hair on your chest. That's all that was. Shout out to Papa Nate too.
Yeah, certainly, and it certainly did.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, it was good to hear from you, man.
But, yeah,
Happy
it's been a fun
birthday.
weekend.
Happy birthday and congratulations on the great news that you're now officially a Clemson Tiger. I always knew you could do it. I never doubted you, Nate. You know that.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right,
Hey,
buddy.
thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, man. Talk to you soon. You guys have a Tiger Nate. I see all kinds of fuckery going on in the comment section here. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete, it's Dylan calling. How are you doing tonight?
Is this Dylan? Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan Delhoney. Yeah.
Dylan Delhomey. Right.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting that you call in.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, I heard you.
Interesting that you call in the same night that Edward calls in.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's only the second time it's called in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the first things I was going to say is I heard you talking about music. I was just saying that I was going to say that I think the 70s music was a little bit better than the 80s, though.
Really? There was some good stuff. I mean, I'm not.
definitely.
I guess I never really got into disco. I mean, some of the, yeah, of course, 70s rock. Yeah. 70s rock.
I mean, like Led Zeppelin and Eagles and
Yeah.
I mean, Van Halen started at the end of the 70s.
I'm not saying there wasn't great music in the 70s.
lot
I
of
mean,
good stuff.
there's great music in all, you know, from the 60s on up. But I think as a whole, like by sheer volume, I would say the 80s outdid the 70s.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. All right. So the main thing I was going to call in tonight, I was going to say that Edward on Lunch Money, he was complaining about the Eagles getting rid of Nick Foles because in the one Super Bowl that they won, like he outplayed the best quarterback to ever play football in that game.
I mean, I've given Nick Foles credit for winning the Super Bowl with the
Brady
Eagles, but
Filter.
I mean, I don't know why he's all of a sudden mad at well, here's the thing. He does a trash talking session every Monday on the Lunch Money show. Typically, it's about something that's like recent, relevant news. He's mad that the Eagles traded Nick Foles 3 years ago. I mean, look, Nick Foles is a decent quarterback. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's not even close to a Hall of Famer. He's already the second best quarterback on his own team. He's the second best quarterback on his own team.
Yeah, he was at his best with them for some reason. Because for some reason, well, he was drafted by Philadelphia, and like the times he got the start, he played great. But it's like every time he went to another team, he just didn't play as well. It doesn't make any sense to me, though.
No, yeah, he played good. He played decent for the. He played for the Rams too, right? He was decent for them.
Yeah.
Back when they were in St. Louis.
Well, he kind of strikes me as a player that if he's surrounded by elite talent, he can play great, but less than that, he's not as good. But
right.
That's just an example I came up with. And if you remember before the Super Bowl, they're playing Minnesota. Minnesota had a great defense, and he lit up Minnesota's defense. I want to bet with a guy on that game. The NFC Championship game, the one the Vikings, the Eagles beat the Vikings on before they got in the Super Bowl. I ended up winning this bet with this guy, Peete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought I'd call in and talk about some games and stuff. I actually gave him the idea to talk smack about the Eagles. I'm not.
Oh, big shocker. Big shocker there. You're the one that gave him the idea to do that. Yeah, shocker.
Yeah. All right, have a good night, all right, Pete?
All right, thanks, Dylan. Thanks for calling in, buddy. Anybody else who wants to call in, the number to call in is 864-207-4522. I want to give a special thank you to Wilkie for the $2 super chat. Says, Pete, when is more shows coming? I don't know. I mean, right now I'm doing 3 shows. Are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there will definitely be more shows coming as far as live shows as the season approaches. Right now, I'm doing the Lunch Money show every Monday night at 10 p.m. with Uncle Lou. The Wednesday night call-in show and the Friday night call-in show. That's 3 live shows a week, 2 hours apiece, most of them. During the season, it obviously increases the amount of shows that I do. And as we get closer to the season approaching, I have a whole list of videos as well. Those aren't shows; those are videos. So I don't know. I guess that as far as more shows, that you won't probably see an increase in live shows until August, maybe. Yeah. But thank you, sir, for the super chat. You're amazing and fantastic. Oh, Wilkie, thank you for another super chat. Says, drive along with Pete, the 4 p.m. one. Okay. So I threw out the idea out there a couple of months ago about doing a semi-daily show, maybe 3 or 4 days a week during the afternoon drive time. That is still a big time possibility. Well, I can't really say there's a lot of logistics to go into that. I really want to do that. Still more than 50% chance that I'll be starting that before the season, for sure. It really has to do with anything else than the rest of my family schedule and how I fit into that, you know, with kids and whatnot. I'm surprised you remembered that I said that. Of course you did. So yes, keep an eye out for that. That's something I really do want to do. There is sort of a hole. There is sort of a hole, other than maybe Mark Rogers, because Mark Rogers, I don't know, this guy, he goes live all the time. But there is sort of as far as a set show schedule, there's not a lot of people going live at that time for the afternoon drive time. So that is definitely something that I want to do. Is if I can make it happen in that time slot, that's the time slot I'm aiming for. I would like to do that. Thank you, sir. Dylan Deloney, thank you for the super chat. The Falcons are the Panthers' daddy, and how would that be? The Falcons have been a franchise, 30 years longer than the Panthers, and they had the same amount of Super Bowls. The Falcons are a joke. A joke. All right, let's talk about some of these 80s bands. Well, then we'll get back to the phone lines. Not 80s bands, 80s songs. How about that? Colby. Colby has a great question here. Colby says, hey, Pete, are you and Lou still considering reserving seats for the Georgia and Clemson game? Yes. We actually talked the other day. A couple of days ago, we talked about it. Colby, I don't know if you saw my video last, what was it? I think it was my Friday night show. I went over some of the ticket prices. So here's the bottom line. It looks as if that no matter which website you go on right now, the cheapest ticket is going to be around $310. And that's in the upper deck. Now, for anybody who's never been to the to Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, there really is no bad seat in the house. I mean, it's just like any other stadium that, you know, I mean, if you get up to the very, very tip top, right, it's still a nosebleed seat, okay? But there really is no bad seat in the house. As far as that stadium goes. But we're still going to wait and see. I'm going to wait until the first week of July, probably. Because now that North Carolina has just opened up and more tickets are becoming available, I think the tickets might go down. See, this is a gamble. This is what I don't know. It's a gamble. They might the cost might go up between now and 4 weeks from now. They might go down because more tickets become available. I don't know. I really don't know. But the bottom line is the best case scenario, if you're buying them on the secondhand market, unless you know somebody that has tickets in hand personally and they'll sell them to you for, you know, face value or whatever, if you're gonna go on one of these websites, whether it's Vivid Seats or StubHub or SeatGeek or whatever the case may be, and you're gonna pay around between $3 and $3.50 for a ticket, for the cheapest ticket, and then if you use one of these websites, they tack on a fee, usually $30 or $40 or $50 extra per ticket. So now you're up anywhere between $3.50 and $3.75. So there eventually does become a number that I can't make it work. If it's around $3.50, $3.60 total, then yes. Because I got to drive up there. I got to get a hotel room. I'm not trying to make this a $1,500 trip. And I know Lou's not either. But if the two of us decide that we can make it work and that we're both all in on going, you know, come the first week of July, we'll let everybody know. We'll give everybody a week or so to get their affairs in order and let us know they really are going to come and be serious about it. One of us will purchase the tickets on one of these websites and then have the people who are serious about coming with us Just PayPal us the money for the ticket, for their ticket, and we'll buy a group block of them. That's the plan. But as of right now, what's today? I don't know. End of May. Another 4 or 5 weeks from now, we'll make a final decision and let everybody know what we're doing. Yes, and accessories. Good point. Yes. There's a lot of extras that come along. It's not just the hotel room. It's not just the ticket price. Of course, there's entertainment. Whatever the entertainment is, I don't know. But you know. I don't know. All right, so I don't know who this DJ was. It came up with the top 10 best 1980s songs ever. Now, some of these I think I agree with, and some of that I do disagree with. He has number 1. Now, I would have to say this is definitely the most popular 80s song, but I don't know if it's the best. Is Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Right? Definitely the most popular. Yeah, I mean, it's a good song and everything, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting kind of sick of that song. It's been played out so much. Number 2. Huh? Oh, You Shook Me All Night by AC/DC. I don't agree with that. Number 3, Love Shack by the B-52s. Number 4, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. Number 5, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard. 6, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. I think you could probably take Michael Jackson's albums in the 80s, and you could probably put 5 of the top 10 are from him. Yes, Rack Dog. Exactly. Like Sweet Home Alabama. Everyone's sick of it, unless you're a Gump. See, I don't agree with this one either. Some of these are just like club dance party songs that everyone knows. You know what I mean? Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Footloose by Kenny Loggins. Thriller by Michael Jackson. There's 2 in the top 10 already. Somebody by Whitney Houston. Yeah, well, yes. Go Tigers 504 says that list is wrong. I would have to agree with you. It's not my list, James. It's not my list. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you. What's up, your own Pete?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah, let me step outside so I'm not getting feedback from you. Yeah, your 80s list is horrible.
It's not my list. It's got done saying that.
I know.
It's some jerk off. It's some jerk off disc jockey probably in LA or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay. So what's at the top of your list? Let's hear it.
Oh man, like I said, I probably would put 5 of the top 10 are Michael Jackson songs. I mean, let's just be real. People could say what they want to. I mean, the guy was a weirdo, but I mean, see, here's the other thing. I don't think you were alive back then. You remember, right? I don't think people that are let's say under the age of 30, certainly under the age of 25, they don't remember how revolutionary what that sound was with Michael Jackson. I'm not talking about when he was with the Jackson 5. I'm talking about when he went solo, how revolutionary that sound was. There was really nobody out there that had ever heard anything like that before. So that alone.
Oh, when the Thriller video came out, that was groundbreaking. Everybody was walking around doing the little dance, with the. But I wasn't. You can't leave out people like Murray Head with One Night in Bangkok, or Falco with Amadeus, or you have that whole.
Well, see, here's the problem.
That whole sound too that made the '80s so awesome.
Here's the problem: is that there's so many. Like, well, let's just go through some of these here. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Summer of '69, Bryan Adams. Another Michael Jackson
most
song.
People don't realize that was an '80s song.
Yeah, The Way You Make Me Feel. Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield. Pretty Young Thing, Michael Jackson. Push It. I don't think people realize that Push It came out in 1987.
88.
Yeah, 87. 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Young MC, Bust a Move. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses.
No, that was good stuff.
Red Red Wine by UB40.
Awesome.
How about that?
You're giving me flashbacks. Columbia House is
Now here's some that should be a lot higher on the list. They have number 30 is the first Queen song. Another One Bites the Dust, 1981. That should be ahead of at least 15 of these songs.
Yeah, most of the top ones on that list weren't that impressive.
Right.
But, Queen was kind of a, they kind of more 70s that kind of leaked into the 80s, I would say.
Yeah. Well, Another One Bites the Dust was in 1981. Rick James, Super Freak, that was 1981. That's another one that's kind of like leaked from the 70s into the 80s.
Right. I mean, that's like trying to say the Rolling Stones, anything they came out with in the 80s, they're still the Stones.
Yeah, right.
80s is kind of, it had its own sound.
And then you had the Beach Boys, who were huge.
Flock of Seagulls. The Beach Boys.
Yeah.
But they were around since what, 1950?
Now, here's where, again, another one that I can't believe he's not way up. I put him in the top 10. Well, as an artist, I don't know about an individual song, but Tom Petty, I mean, come on. How you going to have, well, let me go back to the top 10.
Well, yeah.
How you going to have friggin', any of these people, really, but Cyndi Lauper ahead of Tom Petty? Give me a break.
Hang on, I'm trying to get you.
What are you, not a Petty fan or something?
Muting you there so I can come inside. Do what now?
Are you not a Petty fan? You didn't sound very impressed with Tom Petty when I mentioned him.
No, I love Tom. I love Tom Petty, but as far as putting him in an '80s genre, that's just, to me, that's hard to do. I love Tom Petty. I mean, you put the Traveling Wilburys come out.
Where would you put him if he's not in the '80s?
Really I'm not sure if they were.
Why wouldn't you put Tom Petty in the '80s? He had songs in the '80s and '90s, but.
Well, he was. Well, yes, it was '80s, but he's kind of one of those. You can't really put him in a genre. It'd be like putting Bob Dylan as an '80s just because he made songs in the '80s.
Well, Tom Petty was making. Tom Petty had hits over 3 different decades. He was '70s, '80s, and '90s, really. But.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I realize that, but when you start speaking of '80s music, what comes to my mind is your Cyndi Laupers, your Murray Head, your Flock of Seagulls, your Michael Jackson, your, that '80s genre of music.
Yeah.
Well, which is my opinion,
Yeah, but when the song
got one, right?
Yeah, when the song comes out, if it comes out in the '80s, it's '80s music, right? So, how about John Cougar Mellencamp, Jack and Diane?
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah.
Definitely above some of your DJ's top 10.
Bruce Springsteen, huge in the 80s. Another one. You know, Rod Stewart, Van Halen. So, yeah.
Yeah, Van Halen, that would be a good 80s band.
Yeah, the list.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just kind of consider stuff to be more with the genre. You know, some people seem like they don't fit into a genre.
Right.
You know, it's hard to say Rolling Stones is 80s music just because they came out with a song in the 80s.
Yeah, I got you.
But, you know, I mean, it's an 80s song. Hey, so on a completely another note, I got a great idea. So you guys were looking into the Clemson, Georgia tickets.
Yes.
And, you know, I've been doing the same thing with the Miami, Alabama tickets.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've been watching the stuff of doing the same gamble, you know, and that whole deal. So what about the thought of, say the ticket prices do go too high and nobody can really afford to do it. It's just too much of an ordeal.
Uh-huh.
There could always be the possibility of everybody getting together somewhere else and watching the games together.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Ticket prices ended up $400. Yeah, I'm certainly, that's actually the backup plan. I'm not opposed to doing that. I mean, but I do know, I first of all, I want to go to the game. Right? That's number one priority. But you do.
I do too. I'm going to go to them.
But you're right, though. If for some reason that's not feasible, we can't make it happen, the next best thing would to be for us all sort of to meet up at a neutral place. Or go to somebody else's, you know, I don't know, go anywhere. Yeah, you know, and watch the games together. I'm with you there. That's a good backup plan, but I really want to go to the game. I'm still trying to make that happen. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I do too. I'm looking every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, the Alabama,
Miami game.
The Alabama and Miami tickets are like half the price of the Clemson and Georgia ones. They're like $200 instead of $400.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is, you know, around $200 right now. Yeah.
Right.
So.
And you
anyway, that's just a thought.
And you live in Georgia, don't you?
Maybe we go to a backup plan.
You live in Georgia, so you could make it. You live in Georgia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's in your. I mean, that's in your backyard. It's in Atlanta. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem to go, but.
No. As long as but you know, it's if everybody was getting together somewhere else to watch a game or something like that, then you know I might almost be more inclined to do that instead of going to the game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
yeah,
you know, we're looking at tickets now, but I'm kind of I'm kind of waiting till the minute two to see. You know, I'd rather not have the $200 nosebleed if I can get it cheaper, or you know.
So
either way, so I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing.
Yeah, so you're
down to something like that. Maybe we could.
You're planning on being the only Miami fan in Atlanta for the game. That's what your plan is.
Well, I'm sure there'll be. You know, my wife's going to go with me.
Yeah. Okay. The two of you. Two of you.
She cheers when I do.
I'll just if I watch it on TV, I'll just look for the people that have green. The only two people in the stadium that have green on, and I'll know it's you and your wife.
And orange. And
right,
orange.
Green and orange.
Wear orange, yeah.
Have you got your vaccine yet?
No, I have not.
Do you think that
vaccines? I know you probably saw my comment earlier.
Do you think that Rod got his yet?
So
you think Jesse J got his yet?
He drank it, is what I heard.
You can go fuck yourself. Bunch of goddamn Wuhan fucking whatever. Bend over, suck my fucking nuts. I'll give you the goat.
I love Jesse. He's hilarious. But you know, unfortunately, we keep talking about it. We are probably actually going to have to take the damn thing. But
oh, you are?
You know, I'm not. Well, we have to go overseas soon, and it's probably gonna be required.
Oh yeah. If you leave the country, if you leave the country, you definitely have to get it. Yeah, no doubt. Something tells me Jesse.
Not necessarily to come back, but I know we.
Something tells me Jesse J's not leaving the country.
Go ahead.
You can go fuck yourself. Bunch of goddamn Wuhan fucking whatever. bend over, suck my fucking nuts. I'll give you the goat.
Does going to the city is same as leaving the country?
I don't know.
Sure.
Oh God, I love that guy.
That's a hilarious soundbite. But all right, buddy. Well, I'm sure you got other callers backing up. I just thought I'd give you my opinion on a humble opinion on 80s music, since I actually do still own parachute pants.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Maybe I'll wear those next time you see me.
Yeah, man. All right, buddy. Thank you for calling in. I'll talk to you next time.
Well, have a great night, buddy.
Yep. There you guys have it. Brennan, Traveling Fools calling in, checking in. Always good to hear from him. What is up? You're on with Pete.
Hello there, Mr. Pete. So this is Tiger Baskins. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
I am doing good. I just saw some, I guess you can call it breaking news for Clemson fans. Y'all are, you might be getting back the DB that you guys let go, and I'll explain. He has a kid. Like, he has a 2-year-old or 1-year-old or whatever, and that's why he left toward the end of the semester, because his kid got sick, got hospitalized. And so he was with his family the whole time, and he apologized. He said that there was a failure of miscommunication on his part. That's why apparently they said that his grades weren't where they needed to be, or whatever the rumor was of why he got kicked off. So I'm a huge Georgia fan.
Yeah,
so I think it's a big deal because y'all not having him.
I haven't heard that. I'm not saying it wrong. I'm just saying I haven't heard that. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, you're good. I saw it 30 minutes ago from one of the players.
Oh, wow, really? You sure that wasn't fake news?
Yeah, they put it on Twitter.
Oh, really? Okay.
It might be. I don't know, but for a Clemson player to post it, that's why I was like, I'm gonna bring it up when I call Pete.
Do you remember who the Clemson player was that posted it, so I can look into it?
I will look it up.
Okay.
And then I'll post it in the comment section in a few minutes.
Do you?
I'll look up the name.
I'll tell you one thing. Do you follow me on Twitter? Are you on Twitter?
I actually don't have a Twitter, big dog. I need to get one. Okay. Whenever I coached college baseball a few years ago, we ended up creating a Twitter page, and I'm only 27, but I feel like Twitter makes me old because I can do everything else, but Twitter's just like chaotic. But
yeah, right.
I need to get one.
Right.
So, anyways, sorry. Next thing, and then I'll let you go, sir.
You're good.
I've been thinking about Mr. Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is from Cartersville, of course. Well, I'm from Rome, Georgia, so I'm literally like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from Cartersville.
Right.
And just getting to see this guy step up and, take on this organization, it's funny because you see, like, even though I'm a Georgia fan, I still root for him. And to see these reporters and analysts and people making articles trying to find something wrong with this guy. Well, and it's like, it's because he doesn't give you anything. He's an amazing poker player.
Yeah. Anytime that you are the number one pick in a draft and you are as great as he was throughout college and high school, there's going to be people, again, I say this all the time. People hate greatness. People hate Alabama. People hate Nick Saban because they're great. People hate Dabo Swinney and Clemson because they're great.
Yeah.
People hate Tom Brady, probably the best, maybe not probably, he is the best quarterback of all time, and people will tell you he's not, but, I mean, the numbers don't lie. People hate greatness. They'll try to tear you down. There's a lot of people actively rooting for Trevor Lawrence to be a bust. I mean, just all you got to do is go on social media and see these morons out there, oh, he's a bust, They say the same thing about every single highly touted player coming out of college is going to be a bust. And then like one or two of them is, and they go, see, I told you he's going to be a bust. If you say every player is going to be a bust, then yeah, eventually one of them's going to be.
Valid.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't surprise me. But anybody who really understands, and I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not, by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not some sort of X's and O's genius. But I've watched a lot of football throughout my life, and there's certain people you can just watch, and say this guy's going to be great. And I said the same thing about Deshaun Watson. Now, the off-field issues I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
But as far as on the field, right? Even more people said Deshaun Watson was going to be a bust than Trevor Lawrence, right? Oh, he's just a running quarterback. Vince Young 2.0.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But I think he's going to be great, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I like that opinion on it. And I do agree. He's one of those players that as soon as you saw him in high school, it was like, okay, this guy's different.
Yeah.
So just hopes and prayers for the big dog TL. It might sound bad, but I'm slick excited about ETN being there with him because much as people hate Urban Meyer, and I hate him because of his personal stuff and the bull crap he pulls all the time, he has gotten together a really good team.
I agree.
So
it's
wish you guys the best of luck.
Yeah, well, it's not my team. I mean, I'm a Panther fan, but I'll be pulling for Trevor Lawrence and ETN, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, Urban Meyer's a winner. People can, I'm not a big fan of Urban Meyer as a person, really, quite frankly, but he's a winner, and you can't deny that. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. He won at Utah, he won at Florida, he won at Ohio State, and the guy's just a winner, and he knows how to run an organization. And so I think he'll be okay, but I'm not 100% sure about that. That the jury's still out. You know what I mean? So, but
well, and the last thing, and then I'll let you go get to the next caller. But
all right.
In high school, I'm not a genius at football either, but in high school I played at Buford High School in Atlanta. And Buford High School is a really, really, really big program in Georgia, top 3, top 4 school, no matter the classification. And I've played against some crazy, crazy talent. And the one thing that I wanted to say was getting to see these guys take it to the next level and see Trevor and see ETN and them, talk about a dream come true, and then your college running back gets to come with you. And also, Urban Meyer, and this is why I say he's a genius, he moved ETN to wide receiver for the entire summer minicamp because he said, worst case scenario, we have a running back that has good hands.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit weird that he did that, but it does make sense. I think they're going to use him. You remember Darren Sproles? Yeah, he played for the Eagles. He played for a bunch of teams, but he played for the Eagles. He played for the Saints. I think
he wasn't as big as Travis Etienne.
No. But I think they're going to use him that way. He's going to be sort of a hybrid running back and receiver, and a kick returner, all of that. So it does make sense that if you're going to use him as a running back, but also as a receiver, let him go ahead and start getting used to running routes and all that kind of thing. I mean, we'll see if they use him straight as primarily as a slot receiver or something. I think that's a huge mistake, but I don't think they're going to do that.
I agree. Yeah. I don't think they will do that. I think it's more of a, hey, we're trying to get you adjusted to NFL speed. Also, NFL's changing. It always changes every 10, 12, 15 years, and now it's going to spread, quicker receivers, quicker passes, RPOs, and so I can see that. Being able to keep the same offense on the field, the audible from a 2-back set to a 1-back to a 12 to a 21, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Yeah, man, I'll let you go. Look, thank you, dude.
All right,
Appreciate
brother.
Always talking with you.
Yeah, man.
Love your show.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next time, bro.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. There you guys have it. Tiger Baskins calling in. And don't be confused with a name like Tiger Baskins. You might think he's a Clemson fan, Tiger. But I think it's more of a reference to Tiger King and Carol Baskins, i.e. Tiger Baskins. He's obviously a Georgia Bulldog fan. He just said so himself. Don't take my word for it. Thank you, LW, for the super chat. You're amazing and fantastic, sir. He didn't even leave a message, but he just wanted to support the show, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Yeah, what's going on, Pete? Caleb is telling me, man, checking in on this Wednesday night. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm amazing and fantastic. The important question is, how are you?
I'm amazing and fantastic as well, as always.
Good. So I see that you want to talk a little bit about Derion Kendrick.
Yeah.
So
I haven't. I think I've heard the name before, but I'm a little lost here.
well, he's a starting defensive back for Clemson over the past couple of years, and before that, he was a starting wide receiver for Clemson for a year. So he went from receiver his freshman year, and they transitioned him to defensive back. Well, one of the main reasons is because Clemson was so loaded at receiver, it just made sense, right, to do that. He was released from the team back in the spring, and but they never really said why. Here's the thing: there's all kinds of rumors. There's rumors that he had. Well, we do know he didn't have very good grades. That was one reason. He'd also been suspended from a few games, allegedly from failed drug tests for marijuana. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think they really disclosed that personal medical information but that was the rumor. Okay. And so.
Yeah.
So now it looks like he has his eye on Georgia. That's the reports now. I don't know. And from what Tiger Baskins just told me, he read something about 30 minutes ago that said that Clemson might let him come back due to some sort of extenuated circumstances that made him miss class. I don't know.
Wow.
Now I'm even more confused than I was before. Last thing I heard was this afternoon is that he's expected to sign with Georgia sometime very soon. I don't know if that's true or not. I saw it on a bunch of Clemson websites. So I don't know. I don't know. He's a good player though. He's a good player though.
I know I heard the name. I was just kind of lost in the situation. But what Brennan said, if the tickets are just outrageous, I like the idea of hanging out at a neutral site kind of thing, everybody hanging out to watch the game. But obviously, just like you, I'd rather be at the game.
Yes, absolutely.
But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, when I talked to Lou the other night, we both agreed that like we both really want to go, and we're really gonna try to make it happen too. But there is a limit. Yeah. Like there's a certain dollar amount where it's just like, you know what, it's not fucking worth it. I'm not rich. Lou's not rich. I'm assuming that the majority of the people in this chat aren't rich. So there is a limit, and right now it's looking like that limit is going to be extremely razor thin. But hopefully we can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that's the hope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna be quick tonight, Pete. I was just gonna check in and say what's up. Sorry I was late. I was watching the Hawks lose Game 2 of the playoff series tonight, but that was fun as always. But yeah, man, I appreciate you taking my call as always. And
all right, buddy.
Be well, sir.
Thank you, Caleb. Have a good night, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Caleb, the spelling bee man, checking in. Forgot to ask him about an update on his dad, but I'm assuming if he didn't tell me anything unsolicited, that everything is going well. And of course, I hope it is. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hello, this is Mark Johnson. Pete, how's it going?
Hey, Mark Johnson. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? I wanted to talk about some Derion Kendrick. I know he's a pretty good cornerback. I just don't see him going to Georgia. I really just don't. Honestly, there's many things I have in my mind. He could go to Alabama, potentially, Kansas. I think Kansas is a good one. And hear me out. I might sound crazy here. Okay, I really might sound crazy. But I'm really thinking Kansas because, obviously they have they have Lance Leipold coming in, and he's a great head coach. I mean, did you not see what he did at Buffalo? You'd be lying if you told me that Buffalo would not win the Big 12 last year. You would be lying. It's obvious they would win. Well, it's not obvious necessarily. It didn't happen that way, you know what I mean? But I'll put it this way. I think he's a very good coach, and he could lead this Kansas team to greatness. And I sincerely believe that, and I know it sounds crazy. People told me this many times, okay? People have told me this many times. I've been saying this for about 4 years. I've been saying this is the year, right here, that Kansas rises up and gets the job done. And like I said, it doesn't have to be obvious. It's just you're going to have to wait throughout the season and see how it progresses itself. And I think he sees that. I think Derion Kendrick sees that. He sees a talented backfield in Kansas. He sees a talented defense at Kansas. Lots of power. And they could make a run for the big club. Now, that being said, I'm not saying he's going to go to Kansas, okay? He could go to Georgia. But if you really want to go to a place in Georgia where they're not going to get anything done, where they're just going to waste all their time, is that really what they want to do? I don't think so. Okay, I really don't. And I think it just makes no sense for him to go to Kansas. Maybe make it take other options. You got UTEP down south, but again, UTEP is not really good. They're not that good. Oregon State, potentially. They're all options that should be on the table. And I was going to talk to Lou about this. I wasn't going to come to you, but I figured to myself that Lou would not be happy about it. When people say things that he doesn't like about his team, that he's not going to be happy. So I figured, I might as well go to a Clemson thing. You saying?
No, that makes total
Clemson play
sense.
Georgia this year?
Yes.
Doesn't Clemson play Georgia this year?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Clemson's going to win anyway. I don't want to tell that to Lou. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't need to say that to Lou.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell him. He might get.
He wouldn't be very happy. Hopefully, he's not listening to me.
Yeah, I think it might.
To me.
I think that might upset him if you told him that. We don't want to upset Lou. That would be a bad idea.
Yeah, we don't.
No.
Yeah. And anyway, I'll let you continue on with your calls, but I just want to let you know I think Kansas has a chance at the college football playoff, potentially the national championship, because of Derion Kendrick, and he knows what he's doing. Kansas is talented, and you are going to see it. All right? Thank you for letting me call.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
I happen to agree with everything you said. Thank you, Mark. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete, how we doing tonight?
Oh,
great show as always.
Thank you,
J-Dub
sir.
calling in from Iowa.
J-Dub, are you back in Ames, Iowa? Ames, Iowa. No, you're not. You
never lived in Ames.
Yeah, I know. You say you live outside Des Moines. Is that right? Or in Des Moines?
The nearest western suburb, yes.
Okay.
Called a city called Clive.
Yes. So you wanted to talk about the 80s?
I wanted to.
The 80s music.
I wanted to throw 10 albums at you real fast.
10. Okay.
I graduated high school in 1984. I think every girl I know had these 5 albums. Okay, this is from the 80 through 84.
Mm-hmm.
I think every girl I know had "Like a Virgin" by Madonna, "High Infidelity" by REO Speedwagon, the soundtrack to "Purple Rain" by Prince, "Thriller" by Michael Jackson.
I like this.
And at least one Journey album.
At least one Journey album. Okay. You had me until Journey. Now I get it. I mean, Journey is synonymous with the decade, so I'm not disagreeing with it. But I would put Journey so far down my list personally that they wouldn't even be in the top 10 probably. But I get why they are.
Okay, for you personally.
Yeah.
But I lived that period, and Journey was monstrously huge.
Well, I lived the period too. I mean, I was a kid. I mean, I was born in 1980, so yeah. So, but you listen. You remember when you were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. You still remember the music that was popular back then, just like I do.
Yes, that was. Oh yeah, I can name those bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Elton John and yeah.
Yeah, see.
The 5 Guy albums I know that I was going to talk about is not particular albums, but groups. all the guys I knew, the guys I was friends with, the guys I wasn't friends with, was AC/DC, Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne, the Scorpions, and people forget, because he only had 2 albums before he kind of blew up, but people forget, early 80s, Billy Squier was big.
Right. Yeah, I like your list.
So people my age that are in here, they're going to hear Billy Squier and go, oh, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he was huge. He had a lot of hits.
Yeah. Here's the thing: the '80s has so many band. Well, I guess I guess you could say that about every decade. But in my mind, the '80s has so many legendary bands. It's really hard to pick out a top 10. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it also depends on what genre.
It's all opinion. You know, everybody's taste is going to be different.
Here's what I would put Michael Jackson number one.
I didn't forget.
Because I think that he's just so different. Like I was telling Brennan, Traveling Fools, like he's just so different at that time that nobody had really heard anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Whenever he came out with the Thriller album, it just was something that nobody had ever heard before. Like you can't say the same thing about some of these rock bands. Like I mean they were great, but they didn't change like music forever, type thing. You know.
And as much of a musical impact as Michael Jackson had, he very smartly locked in the Thriller album with the explosion of MTV.
Oh yeah.
And if he doesn't have those videos of Billie Jean, of Thriller, of PYT, of all the songs, and the moonwalk dance and all that stuff, if he doesn't have all those video and visual things with the glove, the sequin glove, and the dance moves and all that, if the visual doesn't accompany the audio, Thriller isn't half of what it became.
No, I agree. Yeah, that changed everything. What a shame! What a shame! How pitiful is MTV these days? I mean, the 80s.
Oh my God! Remember when they used to play videos?
Yeah, well, that's all they used to play. It was 24 hours of videos. And, well, they might have had a show here or there.
You turned on MTV in the morning.
Yeah, the late night was the best. Yeah. Headbangers Ball, Yo MTV Raps. Like this has all happened after midnight. You know, Headbangers Ball was amazing.
Yeah, for the quote unquote new wave / college radio crowd, they had a show called 120 Minutes.
Yeah.
That played like The Cure, The Smiths, Depeche Mode, NXS, bands like that.
The shit started going downhill when they started. Whenever reality shows started happening.
I'll challenge the chat room. You want to fall down an 80s rabbit hole and stun yourself, hit yourself over the head with a brick, like, oh my God, how the hell did I forget this? The band in all capital letters is INXS. In excess.
Yeah.
You're going to stumble onto them and you're going to find about 50, I'm not kidding you, 15 songs. You're going to go, oh my God, this is the 80s.
Yeah. Reality shows killed MTV.
Hey, one last thing, I'll let you go because I know you got other callers, Pete.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. You were talking about, everybody's talking about the cost of the Clemson Georgia game.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a chance, $200 ticket, would you, just as a fan of college football, would you pay $200 to go to Harvard, Yale?
I probably would for the nostalgia of it. It would depend on where it was, though. Like, if I had to fly to get there or drive like 8 hours, probably not. But if let's say Harvard was playing Yale and Charlotte,
Right. Say it was an hour drive.
I would.
Yeah, say it was an hour drive.
Yeah,
you could get there in an hour.
Yeah, I would for the nostalgia of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things because a friend of mine, we were talking about it actually at the iCubs game this afternoon, saying we were talking about $200 tickets, and if you could drive there in an hour, because we were talking about Michigan, Ohio State. I'd pay $200 to see that, but I live in Iowa. I don't want to drive all the way out to Columbus or Ann Arbor.
Right.
Yeah. But like if they were playing in Iowa City and I could get there in an hour, hell yeah, I'd pay $200 to go see that.
Well, there's a big difference between Michigan and Ohio State and Yale and Harvard, but I think that there's still.
Yeah, but we were just talking about traditional matchups where you didn't really care for either team. Like I don't give a shit about USC or UCLA, but I'd love to see those two play.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't care. I dislike Florida and Georgia, but I'd love to see a Florida Georgia game.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, any of those iconic matchups, historical ones, I would pay to see as long as it was, as long as it didn't, take me 2 days to get there. Something like that.
Right. Hey, thanks for taking the call, Pete. I'll drop into the comments.
All right, J-Dub. Thank you, sir. J-Dub checking in. All right, this is going to be the last call of the night, people. Man, I had a ton of calls tonight. Really appreciate everybody that's called in. Had some great calls tonight, too. And I like to usually end the night with the same person. I'm sure you all know who this is. Well, I know all know who it is. But he usually is the night. He's the show stopper. Literally. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete, it's Nate the Great.
Nate the Great. He's never, ever late. Right, Nate?
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Is
it just me, or has my voice got deeper? I'm not sure.
I can't tell. But if you think it has, I believe you, because it is indeed your voice. And so you probably are more in tune, literally, with your voice than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting older, but yeah, I think that's part of it. But anyway, my topic was about like the 80s music. What was your the 80s music that like your topic was for your stream? So I want to talk about 80s music.
Go for it.
What?
I said go for it.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is an 80s music song, but I'll just correct me if I'm wrong. The Heat is On by
okay.
Glenn Fry.
Yeah. What about it?
Is that 80s song?
Yes, that's definitely 80s. Yes.
I'm not sure if it's the 80s.
Yeah, that's definitely 80s. Yeah.
I love that song, by the way. And plus, there's a hockey team in my area that plays that song for Longhorns. So yeah.
Oh.
That's why I like it. So second, I like from 80s is Thriller.
Good pick.
Beat It.
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you could name just about anything, almost anything from Michael Jackson, and it's going to be at the top.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and what else is there? I think those three are my top three, but I have no idea what songs are from the 80s. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I named about 50 of them tonight. So
well, that's more than me.
And that didn't even scratch the surface. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. One more thing before I go, Pete, before you go to, what do you think about that? I don't know if you were listening, but I've talked about this on Ballard stream, but what do you think about this? If we're going to do a new event for Slav Olympics, a home, I don't know if I had said this right, but home run distance derby, which is you
I saw you said that. We'll think about that. There's probably some logistical things to that, and we're gonna do a show where we talk about all the events and nail everything down. But I will definitely keep that in mind. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Right. I like the idea. I do.
Yeah.
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 All right.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Nate.
I'll tell you on Friday, though.
All right. Hey, Nate. I'm gonna end this conversation the same way I end it every time I talk to you. Okay. I love you, Nate, and that's a fact. Thank you to Go Tigers 504. Thank you for the PayPal, sir. You're amazing and fantastic. Who was it? Tiger Baskins wants to know, how do you go about being a guest host on the show? Well, if you want to be a guest host on the show, Tiger Baskins, just let me know. We can do that. As far as communicating about it, the best way to get in touch with me is either through my email, which is in the description of the video. It's freedomgrady@gmail.com. Just click on the description of the video. You can email me. And that goes for anybody. Anybody interested in being a guest host one night on one of these call-in shows, I'm going to start doing more of that. Did it with BVD last week, or a couple weeks ago, and it had a lot of fun. I think that having a guest host is a good idea. Maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or something along those lines. So just let me know. You can either email me, or if you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and you can send me a direct message, and we can communicate through Twitter, direct message. So yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. Listen, I apologize to whoever the last person on the phone lines is. I have to wrap the show up. So I really hate to leave anybody on the line. Somebody just now called in, but I did say that Nate was going to be the last caller because I have to get off. So I hate that I had to do that to you. But next week you can call in. Or not even next week. How about Friday night? You can call in on Friday night. I will be here Friday night live for you at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Friday Night Live call-in show. Thank you to everybody that showed up tonight. You guys are all troopers. Love hanging out with you guys every Wednesday and Friday night. And, of course, every Monday night on the Lunch Money Show. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody that sent Super Chats. Thank you to everybody that sent PayPals. Sometimes people send in PayPals after the show, and I don't get it till after the show, and I'm not able to thank them. So if you're one of those people, believe me, it does not go unnoticed. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you to all the people that joined the membership for the channel as well. Thank you to all the people that just come in and comment and hit the thumbs up and share the videos on Facebook and Twitter. I guess that's it. Let's end the show with Raj.
You can go fuck yourself. Bunch of goddamn Wuhan fucking whatever. Bend over, suck my fucking nuts. I'll give you the goat.
Good night, everybody. See you Friday. Pigskin Pete is checking out.